What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Charge It Up. For today's video, we're taking Model X on the highway. Let's go. Alright guys, we are on the 401 westbound in Bowmanville, headed over to Toronto, and it looks like we're running into some rain clouds. As for lane change here. So right now it is raining a tiny bit. As you can see, there's some buildup of rain on the windshield. However, I am going to attempt to put it into navigate on autopilot. I do want to let autopilot do its own thing. So I have a destination set into the map. We'll let autopilot do its own thing here. Let me just change lanes here real quick. There's a car behind me. Alright, so we'll let autopilot do its own thing. Right now we're doing 120 on the 401. It is slightly raining. I'm curious to see if navigate on autopilot will work. And as of right now, it does not seem to be one. Oh, there we go. There it is. Alright, so we are now on navigate on autopilot. Not sure why that took a couple seconds to register, but we are navigating on autopilot, so autopilot will now do its own thing. Once again, it's with the setting changes, so everything is set, so I don't have to actually do anything. I just have to have my hand on the steering wheel for it to confirm. Let's go ahead and increase the speed to 125. Just want to see what it does here. So currently staying in this lane, in the middle lane behind this car. We're doing 113. There it is. So autopilot now does the sound audible and the vibration on the steering wheel, and now we'll start moving and we'll go into this lane. Alright, starting to get some heavier rain now. We'll see how long autopilot or navigate on autopilot will hold up. Wants to make a lane change here. Some good lightning. Oh, again, the system thought that the truck was actually coming over into this lane, so it braked. So I kind of just made sure I had my hand on the steering wheel and finished that lane change off. Autopilot finished it off, but I was just there just in case. They said it fixed itself. It's currently doing 120. It looks like we're going to be coming up on a bunch of traffic. Looks like we're coming up on a bunch of traffic ahead because of the heavy rain, and we'll see how this trip goes. We might be going very slowly for the rest of the trip. Autopilot now asking for another lane change here, so we'll go ahead and do that. And now the sign actually came up and the sound audible came up. Poor weather detected, navigate on autopilot unavailable. So this is no longer available on its own here. I will ask it to make a lane change. However, autopilot is still available and still currently working. We'll see how long that works and how heavy this rain becomes. Severe weather detected. Ooh, thunder. Thunder. Let's go ahead and make a lane change here. Okay, we got some heavier rain here. And so now autopilot is unavailable because of the heavier rain at this point. So I will take over, and unfortunately this video just might turn into a me driving on the highway in heavy rain. Yeah, it might actually turn it into me driving on my own here. Oh, hold on, autopilot is available. So right now autopilot is on, navigate on autopilot is not. I'll just double check. Nope, navigate on autopilot is not on, but autopilot is on right now. Seems like it's doing okay for now. As you can see, it's kind of moving the steering wheel back and forth. The lane ahead is tilting back and forth like a snake, so it is finding the spot, but obviously it's having some issues finding it. Again, there's a little movement. Again, heavy rain. I'm actually gonna, and there it is. I'll take off autopilot now. Video purposes, we'll go back onto autopilot and then just be ready for when it asks me to take over again. and there it is, and I'll take over. That didn't take long. Again, with the heavier rain coming down, it asked me to take over again, so I'll take over and drive on my own. What kind of nonsense is this? I have to drive on my own? We got some clearing over here. Alright, let's go ahead and put it back into Autopilot since it is clearing a little bit. Autopilot doing well so far. Looks like Navigate on Autopilot is back on, and it's going to make a lane change here. Alright, so now we are back on Navigate on Autopilot, and we'll let Autopilot do its own thing. Oh, now it wants to get back into that. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. And then now we'll change lanes back into this lane. Again, was that really necessary? Not really. Not sure why I decided to do it in the first place, but okay. Well, it's going to make a lane change here. So Autopilot wanted to make a lane change, and I'll make the lane. It'll make the lane change. Autopilot wants to make a lane change back into the left lane here. It'll do it now. Alright. Don't know why it wanted to do that, but it wanted to do that regardless, so it did. Alright, Autopilot wants to make a lane change to the right. And it'll make the lane change to the right. Wants to make another lane change to the right. It sees that the car is there, so it won't make it there. But as soon as there's space on this side, there you go. Nicely done. And just because I'm here and I know what it wants to do for the most part, I'm gonna make it do a lane change for one time here, and then it can start going on its own. Alright, Autopilot wants to make a lane change here, and it'll do so. And now it'll change back just like the van did ahead. To me, it's a little bit pointless. Like, to me, you should be able to see that that lane is slower, and then instead of changing right and then literally 2 seconds later changing back to the lane that you were in. But I mean, a person in front of me did it, so I guess it's human-like driving for the most part. So there's a notification now that it wants to make the lane change to the right, and it will do so. Alright, Autopilot wants to make another lane change to the right over here, and it will do so once that car over there, oh, I guess he just decided to slow down. So Autopilot, it will now change lanes. Alright, lane change gonna be done here by Autopilot. There we go. And now it'll slow down for the off-ramp. So that noise means that Navigate on Autopilot is no longer on, so we can turn that off because the 2 lines came up. And now we are coming up to a green light. I will take over here, go back into Autopilot, and now we are on city streets, coming up to a red light. Alright guys, that's it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Hit that like button if you did. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And hit that notification bell for future videos with the Model X and Autopilot. Until next one, guys.